My name is Vedant Gabhawala. I'm a Johns Hopkins University mechanical engineering student. Today I am dissecting a Halki kitchen timer. It was manufactured in 2021 and was purchased from Amazon for $8. A kitchen timer is an appliance for keeping track of cooking over an extended period of time. The timer is powered by a spring. When the handle of the timer is turned, the spring is wound. The spring is a torsional spring and wants to return to equilibrium. Hence, the handle of the timer will eventually return to the 60-minute mark after being wound. A pendulum or balance wheel ensures that the handle moves at 1 tick per second. We will first separate the timer from its housing. The handle of the timer is pulled off and the housing is also separated. We can see the metal case on the back which makes the bell ring. Now, on pulling off the handle of the timer, we can see the gear as well as the ratchet that makes the handle move around and allows the inner workings to function. Now we will unscrew the metal casing to show the inner workings of the timer. A Phillips head screwdriver is then used to remove the 3 screws. There are also 2 screws on the front or the face of the timer which also have to be removed to separate the face and the outer casing from the workings and the inner parts of the timer. On removing the metal casing, we can also see the plastic constraint which holds the insides of the timer. The plastic constraint and the housing for the gears is made through injection molding. The metal casing is likely made by stamping a piece of metal into its casing shape. Screws are also made by a process known as thread rolling. The screws and the metal casing used are most likely made from steel, while the rest of the body is made out of plastic. On separating the face from the plastic constraint, 2 more screws have to be removed to show the inner workings of the timer. The screws, gears and other parts used in the kitchen timer are small. They pose as a choking hazard as kids might play with the device. These parts can also get caught up in hair and other items of clothing. Moreover, since these rest on countertops, they cannot be made too heavy in case they fall and cause an injury. The kitchen timer must be made with non-toxic materials as this timer is mostly used around cooking and it can be dangerous if these toxins enter the body through the cooking and eating process. Moreover, the loads created in the kitchen timer are small and do not pose as a significant threat to the average user. Once the screws are removed, we can see the 2 sections or halves of the internal sections of the kitchen timer. We can see the spring that is used to power the timer. The small gears and parts used in the timer can be seen here. The pendulum or balance wheel that can be seen here and the escapement controls the speed at which the spring unwinds. The gears attached to the pendulum rotate more and more slowly as the size of the gear increases, that is, as radius increases. These gears ensure that the spring unwinds and allows the handle to turn at 1 tick per second. There is a spring that controls the bell. The spring has been removed to show how the bell works. The spring is held in place by a ratchet on the handle and face of the timer. As the handle turns, the ratchet turns. These gears mesh with the white gears on the left side on the bottom half of the inner workings. When the handle reaches the 0-minute mark, a notch on the ratchet lines up with the bell arm. The gear is then freed and the spring is allowed to rapidly wind back up. This causes the bell arm to move back and forth and strike the metal casing, making the timer ring. Each part is held in by a metal pin. These should be removed from the top to bottom.